Hey, beautifuls! We are full of beauty, and don't we know it? And if you're not feeling it, stick around because we are going to remove all that no longer serves to allow this joyous experience of life to thrive in us. And that's what we're here to do. I thought, I don't typically do this, but I thought I would kind of show a little bit of both art pieces that I'm working on simultaneous, like right here, the diamond and then the pearl. And actually, ooh, no, I'll save that one. I'll save that. There's another piece to the pearl that I'm working on as well. And I think I shared a little bit about it, but I won't pull her right here. Grace, it's like a blanket of grace, Elohim, and this velvety tenderness, this calming peace, this freedom and joy and abundance is coming alive within each and every one of us. And we are stepping in, we are in these leadership roles. We're here to be the guides, the light, the lighthouses in a time where chaos is happening, so that more people become aware of truth that they're, I don't want to say truth that they're holding on to, a false sense of truth that we have been programmed to hold on to. And I will go into it a little bit more. We just recorded a new podcast episode. It will be an extension of Within by Jen. And I have a beautiful name. And so just stay tuned for that because it's really exciting. This is our third episode. Well, I would say because each one of them are about an hour long, so we'll probably segment them into 30-minute segments, maybe 20 minutes, whatever feels right. And then, so we've got a lot we're working with right now. We just actually met with a videographer today, the camera crew, and she is an amazing human being. So shout out to you. Thank you so much for helping us. It's an honor to be working along with you and to be curating such a magical experience together in honesty and truth and trust. And the whole purpose behind this podcast episode is to be able to sit in spaces and be authentic and be real and be truthful. And I would like to invite, if you're going, oh my gosh, I would like to be a part of that, either email me withinbyjen.com, that is my website, withinbyjen@gmail.com is my email if you would like to email, if you want to be a part of it, or just leave a link, leave a message below, because we're looking for people who would like to share their story, talk about their truth in an authentic space where we can look around and be like, wow, I am safe to talk about. I'm safe. I'm safe to talk about it all. And being in that place where it's just freeing, it's so liberating. And we have had some really, really good conversations, but I will pull it back into the center and the core of, we were talking about being charged and how if we're holding on to something that makes us want to charge somebody with an emotion or a feeling or a sentencing, if you will, then we're charging that and we're feeding into something that is pulling our attention away from ourselves. And so what I like to say is, in any moment where I am feeling triggered or I'm feeling where I'm being called out, essentially, now that this does take our awareness, because your initial response will want to be to attack or to run away or to freeze and not do anything. But I will remind you, not doing anything is still a choice. And by not doing anything, you're still not choosing to express your truth. And now I will take it even further because we've got beautiful branches growing here. If you are aware, the choice can be to turn around and look at yourself and give back to yourself, ooh, what do I really want to say here? Why is this Why am I fully charged right now? Why am I ready to attack? Where is the version of me that feels under attack? We turn around and we focus back inward to where we can say, okay, if this external world is, I'm feeding the external world, which in reality, we are feeding an old structure. We're feeding, and also feeling, because we're feeling that connection where we just want to let go. We are feeding an old paradigm that doesn't exist anymore. My loves, it is done. That old paradigm is done. It has crumbled. And so what we're seeing being played out right now is after the crumble, when the walls are down, we're seeing it being played out where there's nowhere to hide. And everything is being illuminated, brought to the surface for the whole world to see, where we're going, wow, I have put a lot of energy and a lot of value into that old paradigm, that old construct that was not rooted in faith, honesty, transparency. It wasn't rooted in integrity. And then we're having to once again remove ourselves from that equation. And that's where this charge comes in. Once you stop feeding your energy to it, you turn your eyes inward, then we begin to really focus into the center and into the alignment, coherence of truth within ourselves, taking responsibility for ourselves. I know that seems daunting. I can speak of that honestly. Taking responsibility for myself was a scary thought form for me. But once I started kind of dismantling the thought form of why am I holding fear around this? Why, what is the worry around it? And I really started dismantling. Then I found myself in the center, and I was like, shoot, girl, come on, let's get out of here. We're good. Let's move on. And if you would like to dive deeper into any of that, I would invite you to, you can either go to my website, you can leave me a message below, and we can set up a one-on-one. If you would like to do a consultation call, I would be honored to do that as well. If you're kind of questioning and you're still on the fence and you want a little bit more clarity. But most of the time, if you have found yourself in this space with me, then you know that you're ready to make a change. And that is to just like do it and go for it. So I have many ways that you can work with me. I have many ways that you can work with me. You can set up a one-on-one call. If you are in a group of people that would like to do the same, you can get a group of people together, and it does decrease the cost a little bit. And then if you would like to do my masterclass, that is something that you could do on your own as well. There are check-in calls to make sure that we're staying the course, but that is something that you can do on your own time, in your own home, how you would like to see it play out. But my reasoning, my purpose for being here is bridging the gap, bridging the worlds, coming back to center within the being of our own vessels, the messenger of source creation, God, and to radiate that out and to remind you how this feeling of aliveness, joyousness, in loving expression of all that is, and then to build avenues for you that are so aligned with you. And I'll speak about this a little bit. So the video I should have touched on this. Maybe I'll do it there. But what I just recorded, I was kind of humming to I just planted new seeds for my garden. They're inside right now. We got a freezing rain last night. But what you saw in the beginning of this video was I'm working on how to organize my seeds. And I don't have a process or anything. I just figured out ways that I could write my annuals, my perennials, cold stratification? I'm still learning all the terms, but some of them actually like a cold process before they actually start to open and bloom. And so I'm organizing all of those. And then I've already got my beds in the backyard where I'm ready to rock and roll. But I had all of that around. So that is one of the avenues that just bring me absolute joy. And I had seen a beautiful video the other day of a woman that I actually found, and she is amazing at gardening. And so I'm grateful for her information. I'll leave the link below if you want to go in to somebody who talks a lot more about gardening. But she was saying that so many people choose to go on vacation to escape, which I was one of them. We have vacation twice a year for years, and it was always something that I needed to help clear my mind, to help get away from my reality. Well, the closer that I got home within myself, and then I found myself, met myself in truth and in love, simultaneously that path of coming back home together and then merging, the smooches, the love, simultaneously I began writing. I think it was the artwork that actually, no, it was the writing that began to kind of pour out of me. And then I knew that I wanted to do something else. So I think it was like a simultaneous gardening experiment about 4 years ago. And then my artwork kind of also started doing that. That's also when I started creating my masterclass, because I knew that if I was going through it and I had as many questions as I did, but I was keeping my head down and I was learning through the experiences, which is something you have every ounce of power and authority to do on your own. There are those of us who have just been through it. We have created some programs to help you get through it a little bit easier without so much confusion. And so the confusion is just the ego mind that will play tricks on you and tell you you're not doing it right, you're not good enough for this, all the blah, 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 blah. And so when we get back to that center and that still small voice that just becomes the radiant sound, the radiant sound, the Om of stillness and silence and life and love and exhilaration and sensuality and the jubilee of life. Let's just sit with that for a moment. All of those expressions, all of those feelings that we know we have experienced in our life, allow each and every one to surround us with love, with jubilee, with the joyous expression of being alive, being in the moment, being grateful for everything that we have, being grateful for everything that we have endured, everything that we have gone through, because it brings us right here, right now, in the greatest shift, the greatest ending and beginning of the tree of life, the branches that grow, that we are. And being in that presence, and knowing that the journey to the finalization when our work here on earth is done is the life we choose to live, the life we choose to show up for every single day. What are you choosing, my loves? And I would invite you to find people that you can tune in to that are helpfully guiding this path. It does take a discernment of truth. But when you feel it, you feel it. When you know it, you know it. And then your vessel will tell you, ooh, why is this not aligning right now? And then you sit with that kind of wave pattern, if you will. Sit with that curve in the moment. What do I need to understand? What am I being asking to see? How am I being asked to grow, to evolve, and to practice something new? We're being asked to practice in every single moment of our realities, in the whole existence of the playing field of life. Such is life. We're all learning and practicing and evolving something else. And so where I am in my space might not be the same place that you are. But if I have something to offer just by showing up, if you're getting inspired, then we're feeding each other in this beautiful harmony of inspiration and uplifting one another. We're here to serve, and we're building our businesses. We're building our life through aligned coherence and truth in love, so that we can live our lives knowing. I just spoke about this the other day at a creative talk where we were speaking about me personally. I knew how to care for others. I knew how to give all of myself to others. But then I wondered why I found myself so feeling depleted and empty. And it's because I didn't know how to feel and fill my own cup. And so when I started removing myself from those situations, and yes, that does mean pulling yourself back to self, back home, and then listening in the cosmos of your inner recesses, you will then become attuned to, aware of, you will begin hearing and listening to the silent spaces within to then reveal them for you, so that then you can say, oh, wow, I see that version of myself now. Oh my gosh, let's dance together. Let's dance in harmony together. And then there are maybe some uncomfortable truths that surface. But once we surface and we get them out, then they're no longer taking up space in here. And then that's when we are open to receive the blessings. And that is what I'm here to help and assist us do, is to live in the land of the freedom, in the heavenly realms, and still exist on earth, and to anchor this light in, and to be the lighthouses while we're here on earth in the greatest catastrophe of all time. And I say that because we are seeing it being played out. It is not, please don't think that this smile is that I'm undermining anything that's happening. But when you remove yourself from it, and it's no longer sucking the life out of you, energy vampires, if you will, then you realize you don't have to feed any of that. I can remain in joy and in love, and I can ripple this out to everyone that is experiencing this space with me. And anywhere I go, it lights something up in each individual. And you are the same way when you become and decide to be the light. And the light is just going within, opening every door, and shining light on it all, and choosing to love, choosing to show up. Maybe we don't even work with love right now. Choosing to show up in whatever way you're being asked to show up in. It could be bravery. It could be courage. It could be, oh my goodness, there's so many beautiful experiences. It could just be stillness and silence. It could just be that you're being challenged right now to just be. Just be still, be held, slow down. And what I came to experience was the old world had me believe that I had to keep going, and I had to do more, and I had to do. And then my soul was like, just stop. Because when you finally stop, that is when the blessings are received. That is when the presence comes alive. Because if you're still spinning, that's all that's happening. So the stillness is where we meet. The silence is where we hear. As you experience whatever emotions begin to surface, allow them to do so. Release them with an understanding that they are there to teach you something. They are there to help you grow on this human journey. We're learning through this magnificent Earth School. And that is when I heard Earth School University, I thought, ooh, that's a big one. That's a bold one. And I have felt hesitant to talk about it for quite some time. I've been slowly introducing little seeds, but the Earth School University. And I thought, okay, let's roll with it. And so it is an honor. It's an absolute honor. And I love that we're here in this space now. And we're ready to teach, and we're ready to guide. And we're just like, you know where to find us. And when you find us, you know it's time. And so there's no worry, there's no fear, there's no any of that. It is honoring the truth of what we carry, and then releasing it so it doesn't take up space in our vessels anymore. But it is honoring. It is not any part of bypassing. Please, please, please be aware of that. This work is sacred, it's real, and it is through, my loves. It is through. Because when we walk through the scar with clarity and awareness, then the balm of our feet that we walk over and the tears that we cry, we begin to see that there was no reason to be left there in the first place. That the old paradigm didn't quite teach us. Or maybe that, actually no, I will restate that. The old paradigm taught us everything we need to know. The old paradigm was a masterful creation. And it was a part of the biggest shift and transition in humanity's conscious awareness ever put into play. And we are now, thankfully, we're here and we're now, and we are teaching and we're leading and guiding. So I will leave it there. I'm going to work on these art pieces. For any of my art pieces, if you would like to see any of them, my website, WITHINBYJEN.com. It is, you can see the art there in the little click down link. And there, all of my other offerings and services are there. I actually have, I'm really looking at 3 pieces right now, 4 or 5 pieces right now that aren't up on the site, 6 pieces actually that aren't up on the site, but they are in my house. And so I probably should put those up, but I have absolutely loved being a part of them and looking at them. So if any of this is of interest to you, it would be an honor to work alongside you and to just say, hey, we don't have to stay in the lulls, but we have to see that we're in a lull, take the hand, get back up and say, okay, what are we going to practice as we move through this so we don't stay in the muck? And that's what we're here to do. Is that all? Is that all? Is that all? Yeah, I think so. I'm Jennifer Rene. This is Within by Jen. It is within each and every one of our beautifuls. The beauty that is within. The kingdom of heaven is found within, my loves. Yes, blessings and blessings of abundance and joy to each and every person watching this. And yes, the masterclass was designed to help you interweave while you bring yourself alive. We honor both the masculine and the feminine. We merge those two. Simultaneously, we create blueprints. We create the writings of what you want to see come alive in your life. And we do it with honesty and integrity. I would love, 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 love to help assist you on that journey. I will see you guys in the next video.